Right, so for the game we've got obviously our map that we've made up out of breaking apart a cupboard. We're not going to tell his mum. Right, so basically let me explain this map. On each corner we've got 4 rooms. These are little doors here, so you have to break open those. What are they? Armour 10?
Armour 10, no glancing, just 1 penetrating.
Cool. We've also got the objectives, which are just paint pots. We've added a little thing just for our house, which is these little magical things you can see on the sides. They're just medi packs, and obviously I'll explain those rules later on. In the middle here, this black abyss, you've got the summoning area where the chaos are going to be. Basically their objective is just to stay in there and summon. Over here, which is at the moment proxied by an Eldar little gun, is going to be the bridge, which is where most of the good guys' heroes are going to be. Which is actually just going to be played on top here.
Right, going on the table now.
It's going on the table now, obviously, because we're guessing that there's going to be quite a lot of activity in this room. So yeah, that is vents. Also, on the right here.
So my Tyranid is being deployed by vents. We've got 2 large vents here, and what's happening is that in this room, that room over there, and that one over there, we've got small vents which can only get standard infantry through, and then also in this room here is a large vent. I'm getting monstrous creatures through there. There's also a small vent on the bridge, so I can try and swarm from all the angles.
Yeah, and then on the left here we've got basically where the orcs are going to be coming from. So on the opposite sides, they're basically airlocks. So this is actually obviously our Battlebarge. So it's as if they're just coming through from the doors from their ship. And they'll be spawning in there and can pretty much get everywhere from that. Obviously our Imperial Guard and Space Marines are going to be situated in any of these rooms here, as well as the bridge over that area there. So yeah, that's the map. Right, so we've got deployment on the obviously the first turn, where Tyranids and Orcs will be coming in. But at the moment, the Imperium and Chaos have deployed. So in here we've got quite a nice little defence force. Another load in there. A ridiculous amount of chaos in the middle, defending the 1 sorcerer. And another defence people here. And I'll show you the bridge in a minute.
Okay, turn 1. Lazy Tyranids out the vents into the corridor. Can't do much with that. Moving over to Kurt, which is the Imperials, the Imperial Guard. They remain stationary and just fortified, basically. Moving over to Jay, and then Lane with the Chaos. They just sat their arse, did nothing. Grey Knight, the Space Wolves did nothing. Grey Knights came in and deployed. Orcs came in and deployed over there on the last turn of the turn and shot down the door into the armoury using all 3 squads. So it is now fair pickings between those 2 rooms.
It was my looters that did it.
Looters, yeah, looters. And go on to Lacey's turn.
And now for turn 2.
Okay, this is the end of turn 2. Lacey's Tyranids came in, tried to assault the door or shoot the door, whatever they did, and they failed miserably. So nothing much happened over there. Went over to Jay. Jay moved a few units around in preparation to shoot at my Grey Knights. They shot and killed 1 out of my strike squad. Moved over to the second Chaos player's turn, Robin, and he moved his Terminators into the corridor and shot another Grey Knight in the face. Then his Shit and Hacks Havoc squad over there pot shot my brother Captain, wiped him clean out of reality. So this is literally all the Grey Knight forces that are left. They retaliated against these Terminators and killed 2. And didn't manage much more than that. Moved over to the Orcs player. Things over here. The rest of the deployment came in, filled the corridor, shot down that door that was already shot down, obviously. Came in, killed a couple of Imperial Guard and the squad that was here. You can see where this is going. Killed a space wolf over there.
Squad.
Killed an entire squad over there through shooting. Swarmed in close combat, annihilated a squad there with about 19 wounds. Left it at that. Obviously the Imperial Guard managed to kick off a couple of orcs during that, but basically just hold tight. And that was the end of turn 2. Oh yeah, and the regeneration rule in terms of the orcs that we implemented for this game. Out of 6 orcs that died, 50% of them came back, and 2 of them managed to join back onto their old units. A third orc came back as a single unit on his own with no upgrades. That's how it rolls. But since I know Tyranids have died, now they've had to be respawned. So that's how it stands on turn 2.
Yeah.
Now for turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of turn 3, and everything's a bit more different now. The Tyranids, obviously they swarmed in through this door and took out a squad of Longfangs that was there through close combat and shooting to get rid of their heavy weapons. And that's pretty much all the Tyranids managed to do as far as they could do, because they shot at the Hive Tyrants they couldn't run past. Moving on to the Imperial Guard player. A lot of shooting down here with orcs, especially down at this adjoining tunnel here. Nothing over there because the door was still up, so that was pretty much the Imperial Guard's turn. Moving over to Chaos, absolutely bitched all over the Grey Knights. Sent a squad of Berserkers down here in this really obvious gap down there. Sent these Plague Marines, I think they are, and these Terminators in here to meet the remnant forces of Strike Squadron of Purifiers that were there. Purifiers took a couple with them, but in the end died. And the through close combat with the Berserkers. The Havocs decimated another couple of Paladins, and the Noise Marines also managed to take off a normal Terminator as well. So they're just raping at the moment. Then moving on to the Space Wolves and Grey Knights player, the Grey Knights over here managed to take out the whole Berserker squad that was there. That was all 10 of them, and then managed to pretty much just not lose anyone as they combated in. The last Strike Squad guy assaulted the Lord to try and just tie him up for a turn, but failed miserably and died. Basically committed suicide. So the Grey Knights are all tied up there, with no one left to fire the cannon now. So that's that one gone. So that's pretty much dead. Then the Space Wolves over here, where that obvious gap is there behind those big shooter guys, big chopper guys, whatever they are. They shot down the corridor, took out a couple of orcs with them, but they got trounced in close combat. The Longfangs down there shot up there to no avail really. Same again in the comms room at the top there. The Longfangs shot down the adjoining door to try and provide some fire just to pinch the movement, but basically just got trounced by the swarm of orcs. Took out a couple of flash gits with them, but not really enough because they'll probably be back next turn. Then it was the Orc's turn, split his forces in half, came down to this side, completely wiped out a Grey Knight and a command. Is that command squadron?
Company command squad.
Company command squad completely took them out in close combat.
Did take out a squad though.
So yeah, we took out a squad of orcs, but not a whole lot really. So they'll be able to contest the objective next turn. And up there, they assaulted the Grey Wolves, but the Grey Hunters, sorry, for the Space Wolves. Space Wolves managed to fend them off, so they're still locked in combat, which is something, but it doesn't mean we won't be able to shoot into them. They've also sent a detachment of 5 guys into the cargo hold for whatever mad, lunatic, orc reason that may be. But they kind of made a truce with the Chaos player. You know, no firing, which is fine with me at the moment. And that's how it ends at turn 3, so let's see how it goes.
Now for turn 4.